G'day guys, I just thought I'd check on some of these minis that I put a super on. This one here is the queen that I saved from Supersedure. So she's a mature queen. So now you can see here they haven't come up at all. They do come up and use the feeder, but they haven't built any comb or anything. They're quite happy in the bottom underneath the mat there. I'll just take the feeder out so I can get down into the bottom layer. Now the boxes are stuck together a bit because of the paint, which is annoying. Just trying to get this box off. So the little mat here, they've pushed that up a bit and built a bit of, just a tiny bit of burr comb along the top bars. So they are building a little bit of comb, they're just not doing it up the top. This is also the one that I'm experimenting with the end bars. So this little piece in the back was foundation, so they've been working on that. You can see the nice brood pattern from the mature queen. I'm going to put a couple of these foundations down the bottom. So I'm placing these two active combs above the other active combs down the bottom. So any heat rising out of the brood nest will cover these two frames at the front there as well, just to encourage the bees to work on them. They don't really need feed, but I'll just give them some because they've got so much foundation to work on. So this next one is pretty similar. I did have one little drawn comb I got from somewhere else and put it in the top here, but they haven't actually drawn any up here themselves. But they have been coming up to use the feeder. So there's just that one little drawn comb there. The feeder's empty. So it's a pretty healthy little nuke down there, down the bottom. This frame in the back there, it's just stored resources. See a bit of brood there. Just having a quick look through to see if I can see the queen. See a bit nicer pattern of brood there. Nice solid bit of capped brood there. Nice bit of pollen in this frame. There's the queen there, towards the top of the screen, in the middle there now. So they're pretty strong and they've got a lot of brood coming on, so I'm going to take up a frame of these as well. Putting a foundation in there. So I decided to put that capped brood right at the back of the hive. This time I'm going to put this active comb right near the feeder. Sort of a bit of a high traffic area, the feeder, so hopefully it just creates a bit more activity up in the top box. Give them a bit of feed too, so they draw out a bit more comb. Might notice a few robber bees hanging around the top there as I'm working. It's always something to be conscious of in the summer. The robber bees, you don't want to give them much of a chance to get a taste of honey, otherwise they can be a real problem. So I'm going to check one more of these. Now this one I did the other way. I actually took up all the brood combs into the top and left the feeder in the bottom. And it's worked out pretty good. So they had those 4 combs towards the front there. And this one here that I'm taking out now was foundation. So they've done all that work to it since then. So I'm just going to stretch them out a little bit and put that foundation in the middle, force them to work on it. Now I did have a couple of little drawn out combs from another one of these that I put in the bottom. You can see there, I already had those before, so they're sort of working on them, but not much really. Just give them some feed so they can draw out that foundation in the top. The idea of this little mat is to stop them from joining the combs in the top to the combs down the bottom, making one big comb that I won't be able to handle. So I'm just going to check a couple of other nucs while I'm out in the backyard. I just need to know how strong they're getting so I can plan what I need to do with them next. So with one like this, they're on 4 combs. If they get a whole heap of brood emerge out, they're going to get overpopulated. If that happens, they can be inclined to abscond. Just stores on that comb at the back. You can see here on this comb there's quite a bit of capped brood. So once all that emerges, this little box is going to be pretty packed out, so I need to come back with a couple of sticks of foundation and take that feeder out of there and give them a bit more comb to work on. See a bit more capped brood there. There's the queen. I find the Carniolan queens don't get quite as big as the Italians, but she's still doing a pretty good job. Now this next one, a little while ago I took the feeder out of it because I thought they were strong enough to manage on their own, and then they started to go backwards a bit, so I actually came back and put a feeder back in them, but I only fed them a little bit once or twice just to help them out, and so I'm just back in them today to see how they're going, whether they've got any stores or whether they need more feed. They're a little bit jumpy, these ones, a bit more of a feral type about them. Decent brood frame there. So this comb here is all stores. Plenty of honey in there, so they're nowhere near starving, so they're fine managing on their own for now. Thanks very much, guys. See ya.